Greetings Internet, my name is Chris and this is my follow-up video to the how to be a successful tank video I did a few weeks back. You can see I'm not wearing the same gear as I was last time. This is actually the Engine Guardian set. You can see I have one light piece, so I'd like this to be heavy, but unfortunately the RNG gods are not with me. It is infused, which is nice. As you can see, I really like this set because of the two-piece effect. You can see it gives you 10% chance on ability to summon a Dwemer automaton that restores health, stamina, or magicka for 6.5 seconds. I'll just show you this effect here. So this is something new since the last video I did. Right, this is a health one. See, it heals me 120 every half second. Then it'll go away, and you can just basically have these spawn during fight. I mean, it's kind of random with the 10% chance, but 10% is still pretty frequently. There's another health one. What abilities do I have? Oh yeah, I could also trigger it with this here. So yeah, this is a really good set, I think. There are 3 sets that seem to be geared for tanking. I have all 3 of them. I'll show you the other ones here in a second. See if I can get another one spawning. See, since it's 10% chance, it means, well, chance. Usually you'll get like 2 or 3 by this time. And other times you'll get 5 right after each other. And sometimes you won't ever get any. This is the stamina one. It doesn't give as much as the health one, but it's still pretty damn good. Alright, so this is the Engine Guardian set. There's also the Blood Spawn set. Again, I have a light head and a heavy shoulder. The drop chance for these are quite annoying. Like, I've done Spindle where this head drops from quite a few times, but I've only gotten in light armor so far. Same with the Engine Guardian. Okay, I'll just get these things here to hit me so you can see the set effect. It's gonna give me 25 ultimate and an armor and spell resistance. It has 6% chance to trigger when being hit. There you go, you can see I'm turned to stone. And it also regenerated ultimate for me. There it goes again. This is really good paired with the werewolf set. Just gonna kill this off here. See if we can get him to trigger it again. Yep, there we go. You can see I've already, during that short fight, I've built 175 ultimate. And I think I started off with 20. So it's a really good set paired with the werewolf that I'm using for the blood rage. Yeah, so I also prefer using this set here. For the longest while I've been using this set until I got the helmet for the Engine Guardian. Now the last one so far, I think they're adding one in the future called the Warden set for the Imperial City, but that one's not out yet. But this is the last one sort of geared towards tanking, it seems like, or at least taking damage, because you can see it's 6% chance when hit, 6% chance when hit, 10% on the Engine Guardian, I think it is. Yeah. Oh, that's not on hit, that's on ability use, so it's actually good for multiple rolls. Let's get back to the Malabeth here. Where did it go? Here it is. See, this is another, it's similar to the Blood Spawn set. This one just gives you health, sort of like a lifesteal. So it gives you health, it takes away 700 from the target, and the beam breaks if you're more than 10 meters away from your target. And while the beam is active, you also get healed 30% more, So you can see that's also a really nice set. It looks pretty crazy. I mean, these two-piece Undaunted sets look really nice, all of them. This is just going to be the last one I show you for tanking. I don't use this. I could see it being beneficial in many ways, but yeah, I'm not using it. A friend of mine uses this quite often, actually. You can see I'm not blocking here because it's just take damage. There it goes. You can see I actually get healed more than he damages me. This guy just fucking cock blocked me. Nice. Thanks. Alright, so we'll just put the engine guardian back on. It's my default at the moment. I do have less health than usual since the campaign I'm in is completely controlled by EP, as you can see. I think they're trolling us at the moment. Anyway, so something else I also wanted to talk about since the last tanking video I did is veteran Dragonstar Arena. I don't know, if you subscribe to me, you probably know that I beat it not too long ago, like a little bit more than a week ago. Where did it go? It's in here. No, it's actually under character. Here it is. Conquer all challenges on the increased difficulty version of Dragonstar Arena. So I beat this as a sorcerer tank. Not many people have actually done this. And I don't even think it's because it's difficult. It's just, well, it's probably more difficult than the other types of tanks out there, but it's not impossible. Basically what I did, I used my potion effectiveness increase. I have 2 of these now since they nerfed the bash cost reduction as well as the block cost reduction glyphs. So I'm using potion effectiveness on 2 of them, spell resistance on the last one. You can see this is my tripod. It gives me 900 health, 700 magic and 700 stamina. On my Nightblade it gives me 1300 health, I think, because I just decked it out in full potion effectiveness increase, which is really nice. But yeah, so basically I use my healing staff and I used a potion, and that was pretty much just how I survived that. You can find the video on my channel if you want to see it. So I mean, me having done it as a sorcerer, other people having done it as a sorcerer tank, I'll just point to the fact that you can do pretty much every single content in this game. Well, you can do every content in this game, regardless of what class you are as a tank. It's a little bit less beneficial to be. Let's relax. I don't want to. It's a little bit less beneficial to be like a healer who's not a Templar, but people have still beaten most of the game's content with healers that are sorcerers or Nightblades. I haven't heard too much about Dragon Knight healers. But yeah, I'm sort of hoping that once they release the spell crafting system, that will actually help balance the game out a little bit more. Maybe give some passives, some new skills that will just help everyone be whatever class they want and do whatever role they want. Then I wanted to talk about the importance of Taunt Rotation. I'll have a video in a second here showing Taunt Rotation a little bit more in depth and just talking about it a little bit more, because I feel like the previous video I didn't explain it too well. But also something I want to point out before I switch to the video is the fact that you don't need, well, you don't really need to have good gear to be a good tank. You can see I'm wearing all this legendary gear, all this Vet 14 footman crap. I mean, all of this here, it's like it's end game gear. It's most of it is pretty hard to get, and having it legendary is really expensive as well. And it's like you don't even need that. I could be running around in blue dropped gear if I wanted to. the fact is, a good tank is made from the fact that he's able to taunt and soak up the damage so that his party can stay alive and do damage. And again, as I said in the previous video, you don't need to be a damage tank if you're a tank. I mean, you don't need to do damage. You really just need to keep everyone alive by being the only one that takes damage. And it's the same with the healer. I mean, of course, in both cases, it's good to be able to deal out damage. And I could probably do that if I wasn't playing a sorcerer. But yeah, it's like, if you could just do your one role, that's good. If you're DPS, if you just deal damage, that's good. If you're healer, if you just heal, that's good. If you're tank, if you just tank, that's good. I mean, it's pretty basic. I mean, you'd think that people didn't need to hear it, but some people seem to think that the only way to play your class efficiently enough is to have this sort of hybrid. It's like, I have to be a damage tank if I want to be a good tank. It's not true. Not at all. Anyway, here's the clip of the Taunt Rotation. Alright, so I'm gonna show you Taunt Rotation. I have a friend with me here who will act as a aggro dummy, I guess. Basically, half the ad should split to me and the other half to my friend. See, that is the case right here. 3 of them are on my friend. It's Archer being one of them. Let me just... okay, got these guys negated. You can see the red thing they have above their heads mean that they are taunted. A basic taunt rotation means that you wait a couple of seconds and then re-taunt every single one of these guys to make sure they never drop. You need to be able to target things though, because a big part of taunting in this game is the fact that you need to be able to actually hit them. Now, targeting is quite weird in this game, and you'll see them clump up in stupid ways many times. But this rift here in Crackdown is a good way to sort of teach yourself taunt rotation. So we're killing them very slowly, but it serves as a good way to learn it. I was gonna try and show you over taunting, which is when you taunt something 3 times in a row within 10 seconds, but I don't think it applies for some reason. You can see I've hit that guy 4 times with a taunt and nothing. Alright, so I'm gonna pick up these guys. It's sort of like a wave system, really, and it helps a lot if you're trying to learn a proper taunt rotation. Gonna hit them with another negate. This is one good thing if you're a sorcerer tank, is the negate, because it gives you a second to breathe and get your taunts back. Of course, the harder it gets is when you have multiple enemies. Usually keeping a taunt rotation on one enemy is really simple. Most people can do this. But when keeping a taunt rotation on groups, it becomes more complex, because you need to remember in which order you taunted them. See, I remember I taunted the archers first, and then the big guys. Try and get some resources back here. You see, I have my engine guardian gear on, which helps a bit with rebuilding resources, and I also have my potions that I keep drinking. If you're doing like this, where none of them are attacking your second player in the group, then you're doing a good job. Currently, the only person taking damage is myself, or my healer friend when she steps in AoE. Okay, we have some more ads up. But yeah, if you're max level, or if you're vet 12 or something, get a good healer, go out to Crackdown, find these rifts here, and just try this out. It's a great help. Definitely is. I hit them with another gate. But you can see it's quite difficult as well, because see we have, it looks like 6 enemies here in this group. Usually I would start off with the wellness, because there are usually 5 in a group. It's a bit harder when you have to do it with 6, 7 or 8. Down to 2. This guy is the boss, I think. Hopefully over-taunting will work in this guy. So basically over-taunting is in place to make sure you don't just hammer taunt constantly. And so you can actually lose the taunt. So there's a sort of skill involved in this one. And see, since I have a gargoyle following me, it's quite difficult to actually target anything, because it's such a massive enemy. And that's probably your biggest threat when trying to maintain a good taunt rotation, because these big enemies tend to have smaller hitboxes, so they want to stack on top of each other. So like you can see this guy, he's just blocking everything behind him, making it really difficult to pick up the taunt rotation. Once we kill this archer here, we're down to just the boss. Let's bash him to death. There we go. Alright, let me try and show you taunt rotation and see if it works. So I'm gonna hit this guy 3 times with a taunt within 10 seconds. He should drop aggro if that works. I'm just gonna let it run out. See, the red will disappear now. And he's gonna go to my friend. So let's see, 1, 2, and 3. Nope. For some reason, over-taunting is not applying on this here. It will apply in dungeons though. If you hit a target 3 times with a taunt within 10 seconds, it's gonna drop it. And this is also a factor in trials as well. Oh, hold on, it looks like I can actually get over-taunting to apply in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strange. Seemed to do it just before. You see, I'm just hammering away with my taunts. Oh, there he goes. It looked like it did for a second. So weird. I think what it is. Oh, there he goes. That's over-taunting. So basically it's running away even though the 15 seconds didn't run out. It's broken though, it seems like. At least in Crackloin. I know it works in dungeons. But yeah, basically the reason why you want to keep a timing where it's like, oh, I'll re-taunt this enemy after 12 seconds. It's because of that over-taunting system. Back when 1.5 came out, they'd broken this, so that if you hit an enemy with a taunt twice within 10 seconds, it would drop instead of 3 times. This meant that you had to keep rotation above 10 seconds, which is quite difficult, at least with a big group. It's not too difficult with one enemy like this. You see him sparsely taunting that guy. There he goes. Alright, so I'm back here again. I'm still jumping around these fucking rocks here. Something else I want to talk about is the fact that I'm using this classless build I showed you last time. Pierce Armor, Deep Slash, Structured Entropy, Absorb Magic, Inner Beast, Pack Leader, and then his Bargain Footman. And then as well this set here. I mean, it was Ashen in the previous one, just because of the extra health. But yeah, it's like, this is the setup I'm using, and I could use this on every single class of character I made, but the thing is, it still has to have some kind of touch from your class, I guess. So you can see my secondary bar is a healing bar, but I do have my execute, my critical surge, and my negate, or maybe I could have my atronach, whatever. But like, even though I'm using this classless build here, as I showed you in the previous video, of course, even though I'm using this classless build, it still has to have this sort of well, it still has to be geared after which kind of class you're playing. So I could swap to my Nightblade here. I'm actually gonna do that, and I'll just show you what I'm talking about. Alright, you can see I'm on my Nightblade tank now, and I recently got this up to bet 14. So if I go to the bar, you can see Pierce Armor, but then, oh, what's this? Swallow Soul. Now the thing is, I'm using Swallow Soul instead of, let's see the skill. I morphed it differently in this character, but instead of the second skill. Because Swallow Soul, I think, is really good for tanking, because you can see I received 10% increased healing from all sources when this is slotted. So if I'm using this to tank, I'll get healed 10% more. It helps keep me alive. You can see Structured Entropy again. Absorb Magic, not fully leveled though. Everything else is leveled pretty well. And then Inner Beast. If I swap my bar, you can see I have a healing staff here as well. I haven't leveled most of these things, but you can see here's another example of class variation, even within the classless build I've made. So you can see I have Killer's Blade, that's my execute. The reason why I morphed it to Killer's Blade is because it heals me 18% of my max health when I kill an enemy. And since when I'm using my staff here, I have 3,480. I would have more if we had that stupid chill run campaign. So if I take this 3,480, I'm just typing it in my chat bar here, and then times that with 0.18, that gives me 626. So when I use the execute and kill someone with it, I get healed 600 health, which is really nice. Then I use double take. I would either use this or the other morph called Mirage, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. Honestly, it's still just good for the base 15%. And what this does is I dodge more when it's active. And then for the last one, depending on what I'm doing, if I'm tanking a boss, I would swap Sap Essence out with Shadow Image. I think Shadow Image is probably one of the best abilities for tanking when you're doing one-on-one. If I'm tanking a boss, it's really effective, I think. Just gonna swap. Turn zone off. You won't be able to see my chat because I always just block it out. But you can see here, if I put on my shadow on this guy here, I go over here, let's say I'm tanking it here, this guy puts down an AoE, and instead of having to move, dodge roll, I could just do this and then go away. I think it's really effective. Let me also show you Killer's Blade here. You see it heals me 654. That's really nice. And then lastly, let me show you the Blur, aka Double Take, which is what I morphed it to. So when I'm blocking, I'm getting the 18% dodge chance. Let me get some more over here. So I have 18% dodge chance when blocking, but if I activate this, all of a sudden I have 15% more. So you can see how much I'm dodging already. I think it's really good, and because it's double take, it gives me an initial 15% from the first 3 seconds of activating it. And it's definitely really good, especially when you're tanking groups. So that's just some examples how class variation exists even within the classless tanking build I made. You can see this character is also a werewolf. I think being a werewolf is actually good regardless of what role you're doing. Cause like the what's it called, the debuff you get, the 15% more damage taken from poison, has been confirmed to only take effect when you're actually in your werewolf form. So that's really nice. Anyway, that was pretty much all I wanted to do. It's probably a pretty long video by the time I edit this, but I just wanted to sort of go a little bit more in depth and talk about the classes build and talk about the Undaunted stuff, as well as my veteran Dragonstar Arena completion. I'm probably also gonna try completing it with this Nightblade here. Oh yeah, right, one thing I forgot. My tripods here. You can see it gives me 1341 health, 1000 magic, 1000 stamina, because I have potion effectiveness increase on all 3 of my jewelry, as well as siphoning here. This one, catalyst, which gives me 30% more. So you can see my potions are just ridiculously overpowered. It's 400 more than I have on my sorcerer when I use a potion. So I could use a healing staff and a potion and then instantly be up to full health, it seems like. Anyway, I hope you liked this video here, and hopefully if you didn't know how to do Taunt Rotation, the clip I showed you hopefully helped a little bit. And yeah, you should probably go out and try practicing it with a healer friend if you have any. Anyway, that's all for me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.